He was born in old St. Louis. By the age of 4, Dad knew he was the best little crack shot the West had ever seen. By the time he reached pubescence, he could outshoot all the adolescents west of Durango and north of Abilene. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, famous gunslinging deputy. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, frontier hero to be. Then one day young Freddy Pharkas stared at eyes as black and dark as night, the eyes of an outlaw well known throughout the West. Oh, the tough kid's name was Kenny, and he outdrew Freddy Pharkas when he shot Freddy's ear off to prove who was the best. Now our hero Freddy Pharkas, with wounded pride and earless carcass, vowed to the heavens to give up gunnery. He'd be better off, he reckoned, with a lifelong dream that always beckoned pestles, not pistols, and pharmacology. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, highest score on his SAT. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, 5-year college degree. After Fred matriculated, got his PhD and graduated, moved out to Course Gold and bought a pharmacy. Now he's a real prescription writer, and they don't know he's an ex-gunfighter. Locked up his memories, repressed them totally. But his peaceful new survival soon was shot to hell upon arrival of Course Gold schoolmarm, the sweet Penelope. She has captured Fred's affection, but he's scared he'll get a huge rejection. Can't bear to tell her just what he used to be. Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, frontier pharmacist bourgeoisie. Freddy Pharkas, Freddy Pharkas, peerless, earless, and free.
Freddy Pharkas? You was asking about Freddy Pharkas? The man what saved Course Gold, only nobody knowed it was him? Why, just hop up here on old Whitland Willie's lap, and I'll tell you all about it. Ow, consarn it, a bit more to the right. That's got it. Sit right there. Oh, no, thank you. Now, if I remembers this right, it's been quite a few years. My brain's getting a mite rusty. Oh, that's right. It all started when Freddy went to open up the pharmacy one day, way back in the spring of 1888, as I recall.
You are surprised to see Billy, the town handyman, boarding up the Dirty Sheet Hotel. You are
I'd like to shake your hand, Billy. You're doing a fine job.
He looks at you a little funny. Billy, the town handyman and jack of all trades, is boarding up yet another coarse gold business, the Dirty Sheet Hotel, the finest hostelry in all of eastern Madera County. Okay, so maybe it was only the best after that other hotel was shut down, but in its day, the Dirty Sheet was really something.
Say, Billy, when did the old Dirty Sheet fold?
Oh, good morning, Mr. Pharkas. Why, just yesterday. It was a surprise to me, too. Nobody told me nothing about it until they gave me these boards.
Once the heart of a thriving business district, there's not much left of beautiful downtown coarse gold now.
Well, if it ain't Sam Andreas, the bartender's bartender.
If it's not, I'm having a severe identity crisis.
How the heck are you?
Tolerably well. Yourself?
Can't complain. Pharmacy business seems to be pretty good lately.
Well, the pharmacy business has always been a little too interesting for me to hear about, so, don't be a stranger.
It's Neville Shute, the piano player. He's doing the best he can. Three mean-looking hombres sit up close to the stage. Hey, these chairs don't have any chewing gum stuck to the underside. Why, it's old Doc Dizzy Gillespie.
Doc! Hey, Doc!
Huh? What's that?
Are you drunk again?
Me? Drunk? Never. I'm as sober as the day I was plowed off my ass. I mean, the day I was born.
Taking a serious look at yourself. This is the Wheel of Fortune table. Guess the right number and Sam will tell you your fortune. There's nothing on the table worth taking. You're tempted to spin the wheel and shout, "Big money!" It's a moose head, the only domestic brand Sam serves. This dice game is known as Chuck-a-Luck. This roulette table is for casino night. Looks like somebody scratched, and badly too. This is the world-famous Golden Ball stage. A beautiful mural from the starving artists of Oxnard.
Say, Sam, I think I'll take an Ovaltine.
In a cracked glass?
Yes, with a hair in it too.
And the usual lipstick smear on the glass?
Yep, and a ring of dried soap around the inside lip.
On a coaster?
No, I like leaving rings on your bar.
Rocks with that?
No, but some ice cubes would be nice.
Oh, we're out of ice cubes.
Then I'll take it straight.
Out of Ovaltine, too.
Oh, well, okay. I'll check back later.
Feel free.
The door swings open. From the back, you hear Chester's voice.
Hiya, Whittlin' Willie.
Hiya, Sonny. Just splendidly, thanks. I'm working on an old dead beach whale. It's going to be my best work to date.
Will it be for sale?
Will it be for sale? No, it ain't going to be for sale. I'm an artiste, dagnabbit. Besides, if I hang on to it for a while, maybe it'll be worth a bundle someday. Now scram.
This is a brand that used to be popular. It's Whittlin' Willie. He's been here ever since you got to Coarse Gold, and he hasn't aged a day. He's always been about 140 years old. He spins a mean yarn, and somehow he always seems to know what people did even when he wasn't in the room. It's a nice picture of a pussycat laying on its back. This coffee grinder from the 1883 Shears catalog makes two big cranks they've got in this store. This coffee grinder is Chester's private property. Salvatore O'Hanahan, town barber, dentist, and bootblack, is hard at work on his customer Ed Sorbine Jr. Salvatore also happens to be the only Irish Italian in town.
How's business, Sal? Seems like you always have a customer these days.
Not so good, Freddy. My earnings, she's up, but my profits, she's down.
Oh, that's too bad, Sal. Do you have any ideas about how to increase business?
Well, I do have one idea.
I've been thinking about providing dirty reading material for my customers to read whilst they wait.
But your customers are illiterate.
Aye, and I can't read so good neither.
You can't think of anything to say to that. You see nothing in Sal's barber shop that you would consider useful. Salvatore O'Hanahan. Sal didn't really want a buffalo head mounted on his wall, but when it ran through the back of the building, he decided to just leave it. Those old boots look vaguely familiar. Better not, they might belong to somebody. It's cold. Funny how rarely Salvatore cranks up the heat in this 110-degree weather.
Please, quit the poking and prodding everything.
This water tower still has a solid infrastructure. You can't take credit for something you haven't done. The bluff stays put, no matter how hard you tug.
Excuse me very much. I believe this stall is taken.
Oops, sorry, Judge. Everything coming out okay?
Of course, same old story. Thank you for asking.
Some old farming and milling equipment sits in disrepair further back on Collier Bluff. There's nothing inside or outside the wagon worth taking. A squeaky old sheep. You can't reach that sheep weather vane. It's way up on Hallelujah's roof. Don't touch the cacti, you'll prick yourself. This wrecked hearse feels just like a wrecked hearse. You slowly open the coffin.
Say, you ought to do something about that coffin. Hello? Anyone in there?
There's no answer. Apparently there's nothing in there but old jokes that have gone to die. You can't reach that sheep. A squeaky old sheep weather vane turns gently on top of Reverend Hallelujah's house. There's no need. Scratching right there sure feels. Score! You would never dream of stealing a candle from a church, but they wouldn't miss one of those puddles of candle wax. You see some votive candles burning. There seems to be something in the lock. Score! You take the key to the church. You take Reboot Hill isn't very creepy. The Coarse Gold Founding Fathers Cemetery Committee couldn't afford creepy. But creepy costs extra. Aha! You'd always wondered where Jim E. Hoffer was buried. Oh boy, it's one of those rare Burma shave headstones. The epitaph reads, "The door to the outhouse is the only part they got right. Blood. Go prick on somebody your own size." This puddle of candle wax from the church is suitable for chewing, but it tends to lose that churchy flavor after only a couple minutes.
Hey, this looks just like the key to the front door of my pharmacy.
Nobody will miss this key to the church. This is the schoolhouse door. Penelope keeps this door locked up. Keep your hands off the kids. They're Penelope's responsibility. Sissy is in a foul mood. He'll bite your finger clean off. You can't play now. Stop trying to horn in on their game. This one's for high rollers only. Sorry. It's the last train to Coarse Gold, and it's sunken at the station. Chances are you'll need that. Don't be tossing it into the swamp. Chances Main Street comes to an end here in the thick, mucky swamp. The tree leaves here are dying, and chances are you'll need. This big old water tower was previously used by the train station. It's Dominic, one of your part-time Native American employees.
Morning, Dominic.
Morning, Freddy.
What's new?
Let's see. I finished reading A Century of Dishonor last night. Quite impressive. That Helen Hunt Jackson really knows how to evoke an image of the white man's treachery. Do you know how many treaties your people have signed and then broken in the past 20 years alone?
Excuse me, I heard someone calling me or something.
The pharmacy door is locked. That just doesn't work.
Score!
You unlock the door. Ta-da! 500 points. You're halfway through the game. This bottle is filled with this century's most incredible medical breakthrough. This multi-instrument piano roll-style juke machine is called a symphonium. It's a tube of preparation G.
Score!
You pick up a tube of preparation G in the handy 25-ounce Krabby elephant size. Quit picking at everything. Quit. But it's hung so well. We were going to put in this elaborate animation of you touching the giant finger, like the creation mural on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, depicting God touching Adam's finger with lightning bolts crackling all around. But screw it. Yes, you.
Frederick!
Why, Miss Prim, you sure are looking purty today.
Now, Frederick, you may call me Penelope if you please. After all, I think we're to that point in our relationship.
She must be talking about the hayride you both went on last month. Or the square dance you both went to last week. Or the cow tipping expedition you both went on last night.
Well then, to what do I owe the pleasure of your company this fine morning?
Oh, this isn't a social call, I'm afraid. I have this rather important prescription Doc Gillespie gave me. I was hoping you could fill it as soon as possible.
My pleasure, Penelope. I sure have been having a swell time with you these past few weeks, Penelope.
Why, thank you, Frederick. I have too.
I do believe I have a growing affection for you.
That's sweet of you, Frederick.
She thinks I'm cute. She really thinks I'm cute.
Please, Frederick, not in public, and not in broad daylight, and never ever before our 19th date.
How's school, Penelope?
Oh, how I love filling those impressionable young minds with knowledge.
It's the president's wife. This some buxom lady's portrait. Notice how the painting seems to follow you around the room. And I don't mean her eyes. Don't move it. It's covering up the remains of a failed experiment in which you tried to cure the common cold by building up a resistance to mucus.
Oops. 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 Oops.
That just doesn't work. This is where you can...
Oops.
This is where you concoct all your potions, pills, and powders. It's here that you truly earn the right to call yourself Freddy Pharkas, Frontier Pharmacist.
Oops. Oops. Oops.
That just does... That... The alcohol lamp is empty. You must first fill it with fuel before you can light it. That just doesn't work like...